Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to? Every little thing.
Yes, which way Nigeria is heading to? It is a question that we have to continue to ask. And until we get the appropriate answers, we keep asking and we keep pressing and we keep pushing. Yes, so that Nigeria won't die. So that Nigeria won't die. People have asked me, so that Nigeria won't die, you say, yes, nations die. We have seen nations die. So that Nigeria won't die. So that you and I, each and every one of us, will not kill Nigeria. I see all over the place, every day on the highway, in people's conduct, I encounter people and their attitude that is killing Nigeria in bits and pieces. Yet we deceive and delude ourselves that it is our leaders that alone that are killing Nigeria. Yes, they are the public face, and we see everything they do. But what are you doing in your corner? What am I doing in my corner? To kill Nigeria or to give life to Nigeria and to elevate Nigeria? Solutions 93.9 FM is the station, and Political Update is the show this Monday afternoon, the 11th day of March, year 2024. My name is AYODEJI, AJISOPE presenting. And of course, producing me is Victory Oyedikachi. Yes, gentleman, Victory Oyedikachi. Yes, this afternoon, that same question, we are talking about the state of our union this afternoon. But before we go into all of that, we'll take political roundup. Do stand by.
Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to. Every little thing that...
Yes, every little thing that happens. Yes, we'll come back to the political roundup across the nation. Maybe I should just give you a gist of what the political roundup is all about. The roundup says President Muhammadu Buhari has praised President Bola Tinubu for performing well since getting to office, despite the economic hardship experienced by Nigerians across the country. According to Buhari, there isn't much anybody can do to help the country at this time, while noting that Nigeria is so complex. However, speaking on Sunday when he received the Comptroller General and members of the management of the team of Nigeria Customs Services in Dara, Buhari said governing Nigeria is a tough job for anyone. The country's economic hardship skyrocketed after Buhari left office. Well, that's another story here. The wife of the president, Tinubu, has said that some of the initiatives of President Tinubu under the renewed hope agenda are already yielding fruits. Well, maybe my guess. All right. Okay, we are back. We'll take the roundup now.
We made mistakes during the oil boom, not knowing that was our doom. Some people now have everything, while many have nothing. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't fall. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah, I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to? Green revolution is a reality. Let's give it a chance to grow. Let's join our hands to farm the land so we can have enough food to show. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh sure. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to?
This is the roundup. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has praised President Bola Tinubu for performing well since getting to office, despite the economic hardship experienced by Nigerians across the country. According to Buhari, there isn't much anybody can do to help the country at this time, while noting that Nigeria is so complex. However, speaking on Sunday when he received the Controller General and members of the management team of the Nigeria Customs Service in Daura, Katsina State, Buhari said that governing Nigeria is a tough job for anyone. The country's economic hardship skyrocketed after Buhari left office on May 29, 2023. On the inauguration day, President Bola Tinubu declared that his administration would no longer subsidize fuel, hence calling for the end of the financing because it was beneficial to neighboring countries. The wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has said that some of the initiatives of President Bola Tinubu under the renewed hope agenda are already yielding fruits and will soon reach all communities in the country. The First Lady stated this at the inauguration of the Women Wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Abuja today. She added that the initiatives would benefit all Nigerians, especially women. Represented by the Mandate Secretary for Women Affairs in the Federal Capital Territory, Mrs. AJISOPE Benjamin Laniyi, Tinubu said that the economic situation of the country is already improving. Moving on, the Lagos State governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Abdulaziz Adediran, better known as Jandor, has weighed in on the biting economic hardship in the country and is suggesting that President Bola Tinubu should seek help and reset buttons to reverse the trend. Nigeria's floating of the naira and the removal of fuel subsidy has triggered a hike in the cost of living, sparking protests in some parts of the country. But to redress the challenge, Jandor, while speaking on a televised program this morning, says that there is no harm for President Tinubu to seek help if the situation is overwhelming.
If I were Mr. President, I don't think I would go to my inauguration ground. The first thing I would do is to say subsidy is gone, because the market started reacting to that. I thought the first thing to do if you're occupying such an office is to sit down and look at the handing over notes given to you or by your predecessor, to look at one or two things. Even this subsidy of a pain, why didn't this guy remove the subsidy? Or what do we do before we can remove it? We're not saying don't do it. Or you wait until you have a cabinet, you sit with people and let's chill this. How do we go about it?
Days after resigning his position and declaring support for Governor Siminalayi Fubara, former leader of the Obiakwa Legislative Council, Honorable Ako Nna, has been expelled by his ward chapter of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). In a letter titled Expulsion of Honorable Ako Nna, dated 9th March 2024 and signed by the PDP Ward 9 chairman in Obiakpo local government area, Collins Chukwu. The ward accused the lawmaker of failing to defend himself from allegations of misconduct and misappropriation despite receiving multiple invitations to do so. And lastly, barely 4 days after Ako Nna, the councillor representing the ward of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, resigned his position to support Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Another group of Wike's supporters have collapsed their structure for the Rivers governor. The latest to join Fubara's camp is a group of 12 men who were local government coordinators of Grassroots Development Initiative, GDI, the political pressure group that was instrumental in the massive mobilization of the grassroots for the FCT minister while contesting the governorship elections in Rivers State since 2015. The former coordinator in Obiakpo local government area, Collins Onuwo, who led the delegation to the governor at the government house in Port Harcourt, said they decided to resign their leadership positions in GDI to protect, defend and promote the interest of Rivers State and its people.
The Rivers interest today is to make sure we protect our votes that brought in Sir Joseph Siminalayi Fubara, the executive governor of Rivers State. DSS, GSS arrest. Supreme Court has acknowledged indeed he won that election. And I want to tell the press here today that that was the most peaceful election in Rivers State. Election where there was no blood, election where there was no accidents. Today, we have come to join other millions of Rivers women, Rivers youths, Rivers elders who said we must protect our vote. We have no concern with who is the governor here.
And that's the roundup.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Solutions 93.9 FM is still the station. And of course, Political Update is the show this afternoon, Monday, the 11th day of March, year 2024. We're going to move rapidly now because we already have 15 minutes of our time gone. Yes, I will take up, well, live in the studio with me this afternoon is my guest, Engineer AYODEJI. He is the Oyo State chairman of both party of Nigeria. And of course, he's also the publicity secretary, newly elected, of IPAC. IPAC is the Inter-Party Advisory Council of Oyo State. I have known this gentleman for quite a while now in the political space of Oyo State. I know he may and must have been actively involved before I got to know him. Apparently, he couldn't have become a party chairman in 2019 if he was not already in the political space before that. I got to know him in 2019. He was the chairman of AAC, if I remember correctly.
ANN.
ANN, yes, where this guy was a presidential candidate. That was when we met and started interacting. Right here in the studio with me. And he's not simply an engineer by title. He's a practicing engineer. I literally grabbed him out of his work site this afternoon. Engineer AYODEJI. I most warmly, Michael, I want to add Michael to that.
Thank you.
Most warmly welcome you to our studio this afternoon.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the value addition. Vibrancy. Well, that will ring through our conversation. Yeah. Just one point, one of the stories in the political roundup. Rivers. Rivers is one of the three states that has been on the radar. Ondo, Rivers, and Edo. In Edo, impeachment proceedings are already on. In Ondo, but by April, party primaries will be done. Elections will be done in November. In Rivers, the crisis between Wike and the man Fubara, I had the correct pronunciation from the man from Obiakpo now. He said Fubara, so maybe we should just
Fubara.
Fubara. I call him Fubara, yeah. And he should know better than any one of us. So, the Wike's people, Wike comes from Obiakpo. Obiakpo is probably one of the largest local governments in Nigeria. Yeah. The councillor representing Wike resigned. Then the GDI, the Grassroots Development Initiative, resigned. They said it is not about governorship, that they want to protect their vote, the man they put in office. Is that could it be a sign of possibility of Wike losing some of his vice-hold grip on his base?
Yeah, definitely following the trends from River State since the time of Odili to Amechi to Wike. You notice that there has always been a trend. People always want to follow the person in power. But Wike does not want to lose his political relevance. So by giving up that office, don't forget, this same Wike got an appointment from APC government.
Yeah.
And which he said he's not an APC member, he's a PDP member, but he's only in support of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That you cannot overlook. But definitely, you know, somebody at the corridor of power, everybody wants to belong to the corridor of power. Despite the challenges Fubara is facing in Rivers State, it is obvious that Wike wants to eat his cake and he still wants to have it.
Will he succeed?
No, it's not possible. It's not possible. Following the political trend, for in the next 6 months, you will notice that you will become one of the political retirees.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you from Rivers, because definitely he cannot have that tenacity he owned when he was
He's a minister, FCT.
Well, Amici was a minister for 8 years. Nothing happened.
Yeah, I got you there.
Yeah, so definitely there's nothing different he's going to bring on board. But one thing I have noticed is that, you see, politicians, I mean Nigerian politicians, don't...
You're one of them.
I'm a technician.
Oh, right. Another word there for our lexicon.
I'm a technician. Technocrats in politics. Yeah. Not that we don't have other technocrats in politics. Like the former current governor in Oyo State. He's a technocrat.
Yeah.
You understand?
He has a second address.
And a fellow Nigeria member of
NSC.
FNSC. Yeah. He's one of our leaders we look up to in the field. But definitely, it is not possible. You cannot reign forever.
No empire reigns forever.
No. You don't reign forever. So Wike wants to be the minister of FCT. And also wants to be the acting governor when there is a sitting governor. It's not possible. Yes, you brought this guy to power. He was one of your commissioners. Yes. But they don't know that you need your own will to reign. That is it.
You need your own will to reign. What does that mean?
What that implies is that you need capacity. When you have capacity, you must be able to exercise it.
Yeah.
So there's no way I will be a sitting governor. I will now be, and it will now be a reference point. He has to listen from Wike before he acts. It's not possible. It's the executive governor of Rivers State.
Nobody's going to take that.
So nobody is going to take. In fact, if I were the person in the shoe of Fuabara, although I cannot be in his own shoe because I'm not from Rivers State, cannot be in the governor of Rivers State, but definitely I'm just likening myself to be in that shoe. Since the day I got to office, it is not about betrayal, because I know people listening out there will be thinking, oh, maybe Fuabara is... No, you need that capacity to function. No views are the same.
No, they can't be.
It cannot be. So definitely, you will definitely have, is it a contrary or contending? So if it is not contrary and it is contending, Wike will want to feel, oh, I brought you there. Yes, some people brought Wike there too.
Apparently.
So definitely, I believe what Wike is doing is just intentionally putting the people of Rivers in jeopardy. Is putting the state, the progress of the state, at the corner of FCT, which should not be possible. Let's look at which state is Rivers State.
That is a side talk today, so we're going to move on. And in short, you have the opinion that Wike will lose out in the
definitely over the time. He would. You look at the support Fubara has gathered. Last week, Fubara said, if you want me to resign, I will resign. So that's a very bold statement.
Very bold.
Very, very bold. And it is showing that this guy is, the president has intervened in the issue. He told all the House of Assembly that left for APC to return back to PDP. For you to know that when you are in power, you allow the person to reign.
And I keep also giving the example of Borno State. When Shetima left office after 8 years and put Babagana Zulum
Professor.
there. The man left Borno and went away to Abuja.
Definitely.
And did not interfere. When Tinubu, we were told, was pressurizing Professor Babagana Zulum to become his vice presidential candidate, they said, Professor Zulum said, never, he will not do it. If they want him to become, they should go and meet Shettima and get him to write that, okay,
Put governor
Shettima. And it is simply because Shettima put himself in a respectable location.
That is it.
If Shettima was trying to be acting governor, he would not get respect.
Wike wants to be in FCT and still be ruling in government.
Governor by remote.
Is he a traveling governor?
Remote governor.
I don't know.
It's not going to happen. Well, we move on to the main issue. Today, the reason why I chose you to be the guest today is for us to take a look at our union. The state of our union since May 29 especially. Give me an assessment of the state of our union on the political space, on the economic space, and yes,
on the political space.
Yeah.
If you notice, I've forgotten the former Labour chairman when Buhari was there. I've forgotten he's a northerner, and if you notice his response to issues, you will notice that he's always in the box of the president.
With the president?
With the president. Even when other NLC state chairmen are trying to pull for an agenda, once it gets to his table, he turned it down.
So it was just following the president?
Politically, Nigeria Labour Congress have been mortgaged. Politically,
but Ajaro is fighting.
Ajaro is fighting, and I will tell you the reason. Okay. I will come from two perspectives towards that. You know, you said I should analyze based on political issue and economic issue.
Yes.
Now, since the time of Obasanjo, the conflicts against the Labour is that speak for your people, not for the masses.
Not for Nigerians.
Not for Nigerians.
Yes.
And if you look at it,
they are the ones that give money.
The laws that is guiding NLC are streamlined them based on Obasanjo intricacies, based on his intention then.
And manipulation.
Manipulation to ensure that we don't have a solid and strong union. So NLC has been facing a huge challenge since the beginning of May 29, 1999. They have been facing a lot of challenge. It's either you are with the government, then you enjoy. If you are against the government, you are going to face hell. Now, looking at economic issue, yes, NLC are not to make economic policies, but they can speak up the voices of the civil servants.
NLC is demanding 500,000. They scaled it down from 1 million. They said 300,000.
Yeah.
And then the thing skyrocketed. Then they moved to a
million. Perhaps they are using the
dollar
pyramid of how
dollar
is going.
Okay.
Unending.
Okay.
I have to use that word. Unending. It's going unending.
Now, it is coming down now. So
and it has picked up again. We are already in the market and we know what to buy. It's picking up again. As
unending. You already used the word unending. So NLC said 1 million, then it came back to 500,000. What do you think?
Sincerely.
What do you think? Is Labour serious? Is Labour serious?
Labour is serious.
What do you think they're going to get?
The payment, the request is not out of box, but the management towards ensuring that Nigeria gets dividends of democracy is what is not in place. And I will explain by saying this. You know naturally that for every increase in labor's wages leads to inflation. Nigeria is already suffering from the highest.
So why is Labour demanding more money?
Because they pay.
Why not demand, an easier operational environment?
I said it when
transport,
I said it
housing.
when I came here the last time I was on your program. I said Labour should not allow inflations to go up again
by demanding
outrageous fees. You understand? Because when they said 1 million, I was saying they are not serious. Because Nigeria is not that worst that a level 1 officer will be collecting 1 million.
So what will level 17 be collecting?
I don't know. What will the politician who is in the level 17 that will be collecting? That means they'll be collecting maybe the House of Assembly that is collecting 1 million, 1.925 now. Maybe they'll be collecting about 7 million. as their main salary. That's their pay salary. You see, the challenges we are facing as a country is so cumbersome that labor needs to be sincere. In their request, it is good. 500,000 is not outrageous. But we need to be sincere with the state of the nation. And what is the state of the nation? The state of the nation is that Nigeria's economy is in comatose. And that's where I'm going. The economy Nigeria is running at the moment cannot survive this nation unless the executive arm and the legislature put up measures. And one of the first measures they need to do is to put up what you call pricing board.
Pricing board?
Yes. Because
price
control mechanism, if that is not in place,
regulation or control,
even if they pay the minimum wage is 30,000 now.
Yeah.
Even if they give,
labor gives, are the states paying? They are not paying.
They are most of the states. So now, let's now look at it. If the inflation is less 30%,
yeah,
MBS has not given us that of this first quarter. Well, although it's not yet ending, so we're expecting. But as of last quarter, it's 28.92. So
they gave one in January that jacked up a bit.
Yeah, it was 29.28. It was the last time I was here is 27.74. Now it's 29.92.
Yeah,
28.92. That's about 29%. Especially, I mean, overall, both on food.
Meanwhile,
food has lived. You said
consumer price index is higher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now, if you look at that state, and they are still collecting with the give up the 6 months
from the governor,
from the presidency,
35,000
wage award given to them.
They are not paying federal. They are not paying the federal. It's only your state that I know.
No, the federal are paying. They are paying. They are receiving.
They pay only December.
Well, you can see that now. So if you look at that, I was intending to work with that statistics. That means that statistics cannot even validate what it is.
So we start is paying 25.
It's paying 25. That is 55,000. That is 55,000 minimum wage. So if with 55,000 we have 29% thereabout. So let's imagine that they begin to pay 110, meaning our inflation is going to rise from maybe 30 to 40. Even in country, in Russia, their inflation is not as high as that. So now look at the magnitude. Even in Zimbabwe. You look at the magnitude if they are paying 500,000. So that is number one. Number two is that what is Nigeria? What is the IGR of Nigeria?
What are we producing?
The current project, the current budget that we are running at the moment, we are going to fund it with loan.
And we are going to be servicing loan at
and we are going to be serving
8.2
trillion. That is 1/3 of the budget.
Actually, more than that.
So if we are paying, we are going to use 1/3 of the budget, and the current budget that encapsulates the award wage is about 50,000 minimum wage. So if they are paid 100,000, that is going to add about 50% up to the inflation rate. That means Nigeria is heading for a doom. Now, what are the quick interventions that actually labor could request for? Like you rightly said, I've said this several times, that why can't they look for interest? We have what we call federal mortgage scheme.
Housing.
Get them houses. Perhaps
access
if it is possible,
the president talked about access to credit.
The interest rate is double digit. So if you use that against what they are taking home, that means they will have nothing left
when they start paying.
Yes. So somebody who is 15 years in service, give him a mortgage of 15 years. That's 30 years at maximum.
Yeah.
And they still have 30 to 40. Somebody in 20 years, give him a mortgage of 10 years. If it is a 2-bedroom flat, let him have it. Now, if the person already have a house, what do you do? Do what we call central transport system. Every ministry should have its own bus. Let the government fund the fueling so that they leave their cars at home in civilized nations.
And they pay a token.
And they pay a token to fuel those buses and the maintenance. So all these things we ease. Then the third one is going to be feeding allowance. Then feeding allowance, don't give them in cash. Let it be in materials.
Such as?
Such as everything. Everybody is going to fill a form online of their needs. There's going to be an award for feeding allowance.
That is for government workers.
Yes, for government workers. So if they get that at this moment, at least for the next 2 years, it will have eased the challenge economic crisis we have, and it will not add too much to the inflation. In fact, perhaps it's going to reduce the inflation, because I am very sure some of the civil servants will want to sell what they have. So definitely it's going to break the market price. So if the government does not implement these policies and increase their wage war, then Tinubu should go and be looking for where it's going to be start generating money, because they have already exhausted printing money from CBN.
27 trillion. Buhari printed 27 trillion.
From within 8 years.
What does that mean?
Definitely, we have been hearing a lot of issues in the CBN, that the CBN governor forged the signature of President Bola. I don't want to believe that.
Allegations.
But I'm very sure the president was. He said it publicly. Somebody said it, and I listened to that on a monthly basis. The presidency had said they should be giving 500 billion
to disaster
minister. If they are releasing that,
and they kept
definitely they would have printed more than 27 trillion. That's the truth.
Believe you
for
me.
8 years.
Exactly.
8 years times 12 is about 96. So 96 times 500 billion. That is more than 27 trillion.
I didn't read this one though. I saw the woman live like this in the National Assembly.
You look at the current minister that was appointed. Better I do. Within 6 months, she has been able to save, listen to my words, sir, saved 17 billion in her account. That was what EFCC recovered from her.
Allegations.
No, it's not allegation.
They are allegations.
It's not allegation.
Unless and until proven in a law.
No, even the former minister came out of the 44 billion that she was alleged. She has been able to relinquish 37 billion.
Well, unsubstantiated.
No, EFCC came in to publish it. If they have not collected it, they will not publicize it.
Well, now on the government, on the side of President Tinubu, do you see President Tinubu as being on top of the situation?
Far from it.
Or groping in the
Far from it. He's only mesmerizing around the issues of this country.
Is it lack of will or lack of capacity?
It's not lack of capacity. And I will tell you the reason. Because when you are in an office, every instrument needed to perform is already available. But the goodwill to do the right thing at the right time is the challenge that the current president of Nigeria is facing. It doesn't take him anything to make executive bills to soften the issue. I said it here and I will still repeat it. All domiciliary accounts should be converted to Naira. That statement alone, sir, is going to...
You think that can be done?
It should be done.
Why?
For a president that has a goodwill.
Because this is the challenge. The money does not belong to government.
It does, yes, it doesn't. But it is still the same currency. And let me tell you, sir.
It will be illegal.
What business can anyone do, sir, in the last 8 months thereabout of President Tinubu, that you can have 150% of what you have? What anybody that our guests can call 150%.
150 million or
150% of when he came, he met the official rate of $4.65.
Yeah.
Today, official rate is 1,520.
Okay.
So comparing that is 150, even if not more.
Yeah.
So even if you go about with the black market, that was about 700 plus. That is about 130%. So if anybody is earning, and look at the inflation rate, the inflation increasement since Tinubu got to power is 21.02. So if you calculate it, it's just about 8% increase in the inflation. So if that is the rate, why can't he do such a thing?
We want to forcibly take money from people.
That is not forcibly.
That's forcibly.
before Nigeria was
I
not.
own my money, I put it in a bank, and then you say you convert. You convert to naira?
Yes.
I don't want to. I own the money in dollars. How can you not come into my account, a private account?
It's a policy of the government to help our economy.
No, they will just say you can close your
with
account.
all sense of honesty, Nigeria is going through a lot, and we need drastic decisions to ease in this body.
Are these ordinary people who have 10,000, 5,000, 20,000
dollars
a year?
If it's $1,000 today, sir, it's 1.5 million.
Yes.
So
is it the people that own dollars? My own sister that has
it will reduce the it will reduce the interest. I mean the need for using the dollars. They have dollarized. Do you know some of the hotels in Nigeria?
See, that's not a new thing. That's not a new thing. I can tell you that
what
this is
2024. Are you saying my request?
Let me make this abundantly clear too. The dollarization of the Nigerian economy is not a new thing. As way back, I used to work in the as way back as 1990s, middle of 1990s. Oh yes, late 1990s, middle of 1990s.
The song, sir,
the Sheraton hotels was charging in dollars.
Sir,
that's what they did.
Sir, the song you played now was sung in 1984.
Exactly.
By Sonny
Okozu. Yeah.
When he sang that song, that was the first time dollar outran naira under the Buhari government.
Nigerian naira. Not that sir, we were spending Nigerian naira on the streets of London in 81, 82, 83.
That is what I'm saying. So if
shops in London,
sir,
they were taking naira from us.
If that was the narration, then that means dollarization has killed naira. Number two is that, and if you cannot do that, then let most of the countries has what we call their country dollar. Improvise. Let us have naira dollar.
Oh really? What
does
that mean?
What naira dollar means is that, okay, look at Canadian dollar.
Yeah.
You go to Australian dollar.
Yeah.
They have their local currency.
But they are still.
But it is a mechanism to control the US dollars. So Nigeria can actually introduce that as well. If you think converting domiciliary account may be too harsh, will affect a lot of people. But sir, I am telling you that they can as well introduce naira dollar. Leave this naira as it is falling. Let's watch. Introduce it. All they need to do is do the monetization policy and
when Nigeria was, strong and the naira was strong, we should ask ourselves
what has made the naira not too strong is devaluation, sir. And it is the idea of the IMF and the World Bank.
And the promoters of IMF are the likes of Wale Edu and the rest of them.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. And that is why I've always been saying it, and I will repeat it here, that nothing good can come from Wale Edu. I'm telling you.
Why do you say that?
Both him and the CBN governor, they were managers of defunct enterprises.
Defunct?
Yes. The CBN governor was a manager, was the MD, managing director of a defunct bank. So if a bank could defunct under him, such a person, you now appoint him as the governor of several banks. No, that is.
But running a commercial bank is different from running.
Sir, it is the same thing.
It
is a reporting form. The problem of Nigeria.
Banking is different from central banking.
I accept your view. It is two different things. But I can assure you that CBN is the control body for all banks.
Regulator.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's the control body. So if somebody could fail under tell me, the current drop in dollar was just because he had to pay another $32 billion backlog of FX. So what are we using the dollars for?
Maybe we should identify the challenges that we have. Why was Buhari printing money? Because the printing that they were doing they were not using it for productive purposes.
Yes.
Our major challenges are in the realm of production. We are not. What are they doing with the dollars that they are buying?
The one they have kept, what are they doing with it?
No. I mean those who are buying foreign exchange in the open market and the auction that the government, they are using it for educational tourism, medical tourism.
Estaco. That's what they're using.
And then importation of PMS.
Yes.
Have you forgotten that?
I've not forgotten that.
So if...
But it is because of the failure on the part of the government. If the government has fixed the refinery as promised.
They said they have fixed Port Harcourt 1.
It's not working.
They say it is.
They said it has...
85% complete.
When will the 50% be completed, sir?
No, it's in process.
He said, give me January. Give me December. I want to use that. He said, give me December. Port Harcourt refinery will be running.
Yes.
And
it
yet,
was running. You see, they said the language that they use is quite technical. Running.
Yeah.
Running
does not mean production. Is that what you are saying?
Anyway, thankfully,
maybe you are trying.
Thankfully, you are an engineer, so you understand these things.
Sir, I can tell you emphatically, it is so unfortunate that the people we have in power in this country are not sincere, and they don't have the goodwill to do good.
Is governance not so easy to sit down and criticize people who are in office and power, and that governance may not be as easy as we think?
An adage says, or let me say my adage says, the size of the head is the size of the headache.
Said so. He said the quantum of your headache is determined by the size of your head. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
It's real. It's a truth. So if somebody requested for a office of the president, it means, in fact, he said he has been preparing for the last 20 years.
30, he said.
So let's now look at it. If you have been preparing for an office for the last 20 years,
is he looking like a man who is prepared?
Not at all.
Or that the problems are just overwhelming?
The problems of Nigeria is not overwhelming. I differ from what one of the candidates of Lagos State governorship candidate, Jandor, said. He said since he knows, he should have read from the handing over notes. Even if he had read from the handing over note, he already told us he's prepared. So such a person does not need a handing over note to know what to do. Sir, hunger is real. The poor country, the president knows. Poverty is real in Nigeria. Those two things, if the president can address it, sir, we'll go home to rest. We'll even have nothing to say.
I was speaking with an artisan. I drove into a workshop and I wanted to fix something. And the artisan said to me, we're talking, of course, we're talking about Nigeria now. And the man was saying, Ezra, everything they can manage, everything they can cope with. But the moment the price of food items is becoming a challenge to the poor, that is government looking for trouble.
Sincerely, and they are already seeing it. They are seeing it because you can, on different states, you can see protests. And more are still coming because there is nothing the government has been able to say.
No protests are sponsored.
By who? By the labor leaders or by the opposition?
How much do you think NLC will get out of this negotiation?
Sincerely,
the NLC said,
I don't wish them to get something higher than what they currently earn. For which I am sincere to you.
No increment.
I don't want increment, but I want them to solve their problems. Give them car, give them housing, give them food allowance. Those three is enough.
How fast will that happen?
It can happen. They have a ministry. They know the numbers of staff. All they need to do is to strategize. Send it to the House of Assembly, appropriate it, and it becomes a law.
Where would the money, but where will the financial backing come from?
The financial backing, that's what I'm saying. That they will send it to the House of Assembly for, they will still even pad. They have been padding. So they don't know that is what they do. That is what they do. So send it to them. Let them add up.
even if, you see, one thing about pardoning is that even if you pardon, money still has to be, you need cash. Even when there's approval like this, you still need cash backing. I have been, I've been in those, administrative settings. Even if you get your approval before the office of the accountant general or Ministry of Finance releases money,
it is because, sir, it is because Nigerians, the government of Nigerians have made so many, the tiers of the government, they have made them lazy. Why will the president add up to the IGR of the state and no specific instruction on what to do with it? Oyo State now, we are getting nothing less than 5 billion add up, both on our state allocation and local government allocation. What did the president told them to do?
The president tell them what to do.
He should.
Why?
They are tiers of government, but at the local
government. They are
government,
not under him.
They are under him.
They are not under him.
They are both federating units.
No. Without the federating units, there will be no Nigeria. This is military hangover you're talking.
So what are you now saying that
the government will tell the state what to do with them? It is the state that own, and I put that word in quote, that own the local government. Without the federating units, which are the states, there will be no Nigeria.
I am not disputing that fact, but what I'm saying is that there should be specific terms. The IGR they are collecting. I mean the
president is not class captain. Neither is he a headmaster of the governors.
But he's giving them the money.
He's not giving them the money. He's not giving them any money.
So who is now
the money belongs to the union, and that money is coming from the states. Which money is federal government making?
No. I get your point, but I need you to get my insight.
Where is the federal government making
what I'm saying
money
is that,
from?
And that is why we are saying they should embrace parliamentary system, where it is only what we have, the amounts, a particular percentage of what we generate in the state that we send to the federating unit.
What is the reason about this thing they call, I don't even like that word, they call restructuring? How will you want Nigeria to be reconfigured?
Well, number one, we all know in all the nations that the South is one of the most wealthier and most rich, you understand, and the most populated.
That is disputable.
That is disputable, because in Nigeria, we have more in the north.
How many wives do you have?
I have just only one.
A man of your age in the north will have probably...
That is what I'm saying. I said that is, when you said it is disputable, that was why I told you that, yes.
A man of Victory's age will have 3 wives. And he will have a dozen children.
Now,
if you have $1 billion, will you marry 4 wives?
I don't even intend to get one.
If you have $1 billion,
I don't intend to get more than one. Because if you have one, I don't want us to go away from what we are discussing. If you have one wife, you have 2 troubles. If you have 2, you have 4.
And 4 pleasures too. So what? Because people are telling me, and those who should know are saying, Nigeria is a defective structure. Nothing can be done about a defective structure.
They are right. And I will tell you the reason. And that was where I was going. The constitution we own, or that
we don't own that constitution.
That's what I'm referring.
A professor of jurisprudence, Professor Akinyebode, said that the 1999 constitution is a forgery.
Yes, I accept that word. And that is what I'm saying. That's why I'm refraining from what I said. That at the moment, the constitution we are using, we don't own it. So the first thing to restructuring is to have a brand new constitution. Now, yes, people are saying, are we going to put away this one and embrace another new one? If you cannot prove, then call for a confab.
How many confabs are we going to call for?
We have one already, and the report have not been used.
Now, the people in the National Assembly, do you think on Saturday I saw a member of House of Rep drive by me, and he stopped and he called me. It was in the dead of the night. I couldn't recognize him. Only that I saw that the vehicle's number was covered. When I got into the vehicle, I said, why are you covering your number? He said he has a permit for it. Why? At a point we got to play, they blasted his siren. I said, why are you using siren? And why is your car or your SUV or that Prado they bought?
Yeah,
why
for 160 million.
Why is it all tinted up? He said he has permit for tint, he has permit for siren.
The IG has said there shouldn't be permit.
He said he has a permit even for covering his plate number. I say, why do you need permit to do all of that? Why do you need to cover your number? Why do you need to tint up? And what are you doing with siren? You elected man. Do you think people...
the representatives of the people.
Do you think people that are enjoying such privileges will give it up by trying to reconfigure Nigeria? Will you think they will want to do it?
Well, you know, like I've always said it.
It's like posting a noose around their neck.
Sir,
do you think they will do it?
I have always said it. That
if they are not going to do it, who and how are we going to do it?
You see, the quality of representation determines the quality of governance. Sir,
the guy I'm talking about.
No, that's the qualification. That is not qualification. I said the quality of representation. It is not about qualification. The quality of representation determines the quality of governance. And that is why you see we have not gotten anything good.
But they come from among us.
Yes, they are from among us.
Are they not a reflection of who we are?
They came into politics to do business.
They are a reflection of who we are.
They are not a reflection. No, not all of us are reflecting like that. Because if we definitely, if we are the same, we will not be saying the same thing.
You drive through town. Do you see people obeying traffic lights? You don't see even the so-called educated.
Yeah.
Jumping.
I get your perspective, but these same people in a place where there is rule of law, or rule of law is in place and it is functioning. So that's the problem with Nigeria. It's not that we don't have laws.
Who will make it function?
It is the government.
Which government?
The people in government.
The people in government that are flouting the same law.
That are flouting. So how do you expect the citizens to respect the law?
That is what people are telling me.
So they can't. So that is the challenge.
Anytime I challenge people, they say stop.
If the president truly want to show that, we are feeling this plane, out of the fleet of the jets in the presidential villa, let them save some. Yes, I was expecting him when he called, said he wants to embrace Oresanya report. You only embrace the Oresanya report on the MDAs. Oresanya. What about costing the cost of governance?
They will have to start somewhere.
Oh, so they don't want to cut that. At every tenure, 4 years tenure, the representative, the executive get between 25 to 40% increase in their salaries.
No, you can't get that.
And that's what they get.
The allowances, maybe.
Yes, they have such an increase. So if the president is sincere, the president has the tenacity, according to the constitution, to appoint over 7,000 appointees, special advisors, PAs,
chairman, boards of
parastatals. All these things are on the high side.
A word to Nigerians out there, the way out for Nigerians. 1 minute.
The word to Nigerians is which way?
Which way?
Which way?
They say we are resilient.
Well,
that means we can take it.
It's an understatement. The elastic rubber of Nigeria that has not break can break.
The elastic limit.
Yes, it can break. Yeah, I can tell you that.
Well. It has been an engaging and insightful one. The elastic limits of Nigerians can break. And you think it's getting to the breaking point?
Very, very close.
When it breaks, what do you think will happen?
Definitely, it's going to be. I don't want to. I don't know. We're on here. I don't want to be a prophet, but we all know what will happen.
There's nothing bad in being a prophet.
I don't know. I don't want to be one.
You don't want to be a prophet of doom.
I don't want. I don't want to be a prophet.
Hey.
I don't want to be a prophet of doom.
All right. Solutions 90.9 FM is still the station, and it's doing political update this afternoon. Right there, right here in the studio with me, I think the chairman of both party Nigeria, and of course the newly elected secretary of
Publicity secretary.
Publicity secretary of Inter-Party Advisory Council, Engineer AYODEJI Michael Bwemini.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure.
So much. Thank you so much. I practically yanked you off your work site this afternoon. Thank you so much. I look forward, maybe in another short while, we'll be working together.
Thank you, sir.
Well, for our listeners and viewers, it's been an engagement. It's a wrap on the show today. Next week, Monday, by God's grace, we'll be back. And that's how it is. AJISOPE presenting and producing me has been Victory AYODEJI. God bless you. God bless our union. Bye for now.